Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to Season 16, Episode number 3594. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. And you are in the Men's Room. Well, Ted, today it is the random question. Your guess is as good as mine. Categories include obese states and the best holidays. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, the Men's Room Shout of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted. Clack. All right, here we go. Man crashes car driving drunk, then drops his 10-year-old son off at a store before running away. Meanwhile, a would-be catalytic converter thief will not be getting a visit this year from Santa and his sleigh. Neiman Marcus offering candle holder covered in boobs for only $236. Tractor-trailer driver Rex Riggs strips naked and shows everyone the corn that he shucks. And a Canadian family goes to very little effort to one-up neighbors in their huge holiday display. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, while we all have different ideas of what it is to look good, we all hope that we do look good, at least to someone, right? Most people think that losing weight is a good way to start, and maybe not. According to a new study, losing weight makes you look older. Now, that said, 16% of people, they have not weighed themselves since the pandemic started, which in my mind means 16% of the population are looking younger. And that's a good thing. If you're into the world of dating apps, you want to look younger, you want to look more energetic, you want to look more virile, right? Well, actually, according to the University of Geneva in Switzerland, the people most likely to do well on dating apps are people who are, and I quote, handsome and dumb. So looks are part of it, but you also want to be kind of stupid. So basically, it's like going to Hollywood. Now, these are just some of the stories that we've come across, stories that left us with many questions we'd like to ask you in the form of our random question, and this is how it works. You call us, we ask you a question at complete random, and after you share your story, we will share with you the news story that inspired said question.
Be part of the big show, the random question. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
This Father's Day, refresh Dad's tool collection with the sweetest brands like Cobalt at Lowe's. Right now, you can buy one select Cobalt 24-volt Max kit and get one select Cobalt Bear tool free, up to a $139 value. The gift of powering Dad's summer projects is priceless. Shop Lowe's in-store or online today to make it happen. While supplies last, valid 5/2 through 7/31.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Hello, Michelle, and away we go. Welcome to Season 16, episode number 3,594. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat, that is a fact. Exciting return of Your Guess As Good As Mine. Guys, don't want to upset you. It is the last. Your guess is as good as mine for the rest of 2021. This is all we got left.
That's truly sad news, man.
Your categories, the 10 best holidays to celebrate here in the good old US of A. All right, you want a holiday celebration? Some people have different ideas. What their favorite holidays?
What's your favorite holiday as far as these celebrations?
To be honest with you, man, I know this sounds crazy. It's going to be Thanksgiving. There's NFL football on all day long. Yep. The food is always quality stuff.
It is.
I enjoy being able to not do anything that day except for lay around, watch football, eat multiple times.
See, I really like Arbor Day, but that's me.
There's no pressure. There's no need to get a restaurant reservation someplace.
Yeah, but you got to make all the food, man.
You do.
So you're not making a restaurant reservation, but there's still people put a lot of pressure on themselves anyway regarding the Thanksgiving dinner.
If you're not making the main part of the meal, Thanksgiving wins hands down.
Really?
I think so.
I think I might take July 4th.
July 4th is great too.
I mean,
it's
look,
a great drink.
That's for drinking by far.
That for me, and it's kind of all day. And fair, Thanksgiving is kind of an all day process, but July 4th I'm outdoors.
You are.
And I know it rains here a lot, but still, I don't care about the fireworks, but the food
I don't either.
Is on the grill. Like, all of the food is good. There's nothing I really don't like.
I like Thanksgiving dinner better.
I'm drinking outside. Really?
It's not that I don't like a grilled hot dog or hamburger. Just a plain old whatever.
You don't like exotic grilled hot dogs or hamburgers?
Well, it's a hot dog and a hamburger. And eventually they're
delicious.
You're outside for hours at a time, and that's fine too. But to be inside and just sit on a couch in your underwear and watch football all day and not have to go anywhere and do anything or keep an eye on your kids or whatever your deal is.
Right.
Like, at least with Thanksgiving, everybody's just in the house. You know what I'm saying?
True enough.
People aren't going out doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You're probably hungover from the night before. You start day drinking again. You know what I mean? It's like you just kind of wander around. Everything smells good in the house. And it's not that Christmas has a lot of other pomp and circumstance to it, but I just don't think that. I don't think the television is as good as far as the football watching.
Once the kids open the gifts,
it's okay.
Like Christmas is kind of, even for them. Like once they open their gifts, they kind of don't care that it's Christmas anymore, right? They just want to play with the crap.
Now you get all this crap up, you know what I mean? And it's like, you're saving bows, you're throwing away, wrapping paper, and you're collecting trash everywhere. And it's just, I don't know. It's not that it's not fun, but I'd rather just do Thanksgiving.
I think right, the disassembling all of the Christmas cheer. I have 3 trees up in my house right now.
3 trees.
3 trees. There are 2 in the basement, one on one side, one on the other. There's one in the living room, and my son had a buddy over Saturday. And I hear my son saying, and this is the 3rd one. So his buddy's like, you get presents under all these trees? And I was like, no.
No, you
eats
don't.
them under that one over
Fair
there.
question out of
That
that
is
kid.
a fair question. The kid thought my son's getting hooked up. I'm like, no, that is not how that works.
And then the other category, other than the best holidays to celebrate, that would be the most overweight and obese states. Here in the United States of America, they all have one thing in common, I think.
They're in the South.
This will, biscuits, probably.
That's what I'm saying.
I think you're saying the same thing.
Biscuits.
The South.
Biscuits. If you go to a place where they have a lot of biscuits, they're going to show up on this list of the 10 most obese states in the United States. So.
Biscuit is kind of the food product, I think, that says weight gain.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, there's everything else, but like people, like I heard somebody once say, I have a couple biscuits over 300.
They don't put
weird measurement.
There's no California biscuit with avocado on it. You know what I'm saying? Biscuit is just you're in.
Right.
I mean, if you get a biscuit, man,
don't make it healthy because it doesn't exist.
Exactly. And today is the day we do our random question 206-421-ROCK. By the way, we do have our Men's Room Happy Hour today, episode number 86, exclusively on the Odyssey app. We will leave these airwaves as we do every Monday through Friday at 6. Download the Odyssey app. It's absolutely free. Hundreds of channels on there. Speaking of holiday music, you name it. There's everything from heavy metal Christmas music.
Because who doesn't want that?
There's a Hanukkah channel on there if you're still celebrating. Whatever the deal is.
I think, is there a heavy metal Hanukkah?
Ooh,
I don't know.
That needs to be done.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who would be a part of that. David Lee Roth, maybe?
David Lee Roth, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons.
Sure, you can do all that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But either way, also on that is the Men's Room Happy Hour channel. That only goes live when we go on the air at 6 o'clock. So we leave these airwaves and we go straight over to the Odyssey app. And on the Men's Room Happy Hour, same rules are not in place as they are here with the FCC. So we're actually allowed to speak a little more freely, so to speak. So we
actually, Miles,
we consider that an adult-only show.
We consider it,
yes,
an adult-only show. Yesterday, I'm on the Fishbone Show, and Ted, I told you earlier, a woman approached me, and she approached my sexy ass to tell me that she really likes me, but she wants to sleep with Ted, and she made this very clear, and she gave me the sales pitch to give to Ted, which I gave him. She also added, though, that she listens to the Happy Hour with her 2 kids in the car, and I kind of looked at her, and she said, look, it's nothing they haven't heard before. And she said, my kids were really excited because the first time they heard the Happy Hour, they were like, Mom, they talk just like we do. And I told her, I was like, I don't even know how to respond to that.
Great. Fantastic. Yeah. So join us for that family-friendly no Men's Room Happy Hour. We'll do props in the weekend. I will do some picks. We all had a pretty good week as far as picking NFL games. Believe it or not. One person in particular stood out, but, for the most part, we didn't do too bad.
Well, because most of the games this weekend kind of went the way most of them went the way we thought.
True.
Well,
actually, when I woke up yesterday,
some of them did not.
When I woke up yesterday morning, something told me the Ravens are going to lose, and I honestly went into the game like we're going to lose, and then they did. Mm-hmm. So
thanks for that.
That's cool.
Sure. That was me outside your window.
And I want to.
What is that sound? The Ravens are going to lose.
Ted, stop it!
Nevermore.
I don't want to make you guys sad again, but today is in fact the very last random question of 2021. Mm-hmm. Last time we're going to do this all year. Every day that we count down, we do one last thing. It's sad for us to know that we have time off ahead of us.
The people are already upset. So does that mean that you jabronis are taking off the last 2 weeks of the year? I responded, yeah. You lucky sons of such and such. Do you think you could pre-tape a few episodes for us unlucky working folk? I'm sure it wouldn't be that much more work. Yeah, no.
No,
we're not. We're just not.
No. Well, that's why we do such a great show like today. It's for the guaranteed future reaping. Yeah. That's why when we're not here, you hear the show, and you're thinking, wow, that is top-notch stuff right there.
Well, I hope I hear this again.
Dude, Mike's been working hard. There's some good stuff in there.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, by the way, at the end of the week, we'll do our year-end spectacular, where we'll play all the favorite clips and calls from the week. Mike,
and that's all Mike, but we have no idea what's on there. Mike, this is all you.
You're saying you had a pretty entertaining time listening to some of these moments?
We had a hell of a year here in the men's room, so I'm excited.
A train wreck year?
Oh,
yes. So it's not like good things.
Usually the year-end spectacular tends to be some of the weird things that you guys have done or said or have gone on about. This year, there's a lot of really good callers that made this list.
Oh, really?
Sweet. It is not usually a caller-featured end-of-the-year spectacular. This year, we have had some real, let's call them winners.
Okay, all right. Nice.
I'm assuming by calling them winners, that's not what they are.
That's good assumption.
But a big week here on The Rock. We potentially, not going to get too much into this, we might have a little surprise guest that's been on the show before. So
yes.
He might stop in. Also, tomorrow is Coats for Kids Day, presented by KISW and Palace Law. BJ and Miggs and the guys with the Washington State Council of Firefighters and Operation Warm. They have teamed up to put a brand new coat on a kid in need this holiday season right here in Washington State. So, $20, by the way. That's all it takes to put a new coat on a child that needs one in the area. Tomorrow is Coats for Kids Day. We have an idea, because we're going to try to hit our goal in the afternoon tomorrow. Mike, I'm not sure if we made you privy to this or not. But one of the things we're definitely going to do tomorrow.
Basically, understand, it was top of mind. Council walked by the office and said, hey, do you guys have big plans for Coats for Kids Day tomorrow? Mm-hmm. And we were honest and said, no. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, you got to do something. And this is what we came up with.
Yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to play either the Green Bean song or we're going to play the KISW players version of Father Christmas from the Kinks, which also is a part of Coats for Kids. So when you go and you donate for Coats for Kids on KISW, there's actually a video up there that the fine folks at Caltrips put together of the KISW air staff doing their version of Father Christmas.
It's a great matchup, Mom.
Go there, check out the video, donate, do all those things. But either way, we're gonna play this until we get the matching amount of money that we need. Every single song. Every single song. We're going to play Father Christmas and Green Beans. Until...
and then when we hit the goal,
then we'll stop
playing.
We'll never play it again. Yeah. Swear to God. Swear to God, we'll never play it ever again. Neither one of them. Not on our show.
Yeah, because nobody likes it.
Not on our show.
People hate those songs. So we're like, all right, fair enough. Yeah. See, we will just keep playing.
We're going to hold you hostage.
This is why you guys need to run ideas by me so that I can tell you not to do this.
No, it's a great idea. This is better than throwing pies in the face, messing up the studio, all the things that we've done before. Raise money for charity.
Yeah, if you don't donate, I might just sing an a cappella.
Right.
Woo! We might just play Ted's part.
And that's it. Loop it over.
Y'all are going to be donating then.
Over.
Guaranteed.
We've never had this much money before.
This is amazing.
Like, how much you just end the show?
Yes. And don't be sad, but again, this is the very last random question of the year.
Yes. Hello, Sophia. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi, guys.
Hola.
Sophia, welcome to the program.
You sound awfully cheery on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Oh, well, I just come from the doctor, and I'm about to pick up some morphine here when it's done at the pharmacy. So I'm about to have a really good night.
Well,
wow.
Why do you need morphine? Or is this someone you know on the side?
No. It's, I'm actually, I don't know if you guys remember, I'm that nurse practitioner that tracheotomy where I say that.
Yeah, we do remember you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, part of the reason I'm not working right now is, one, I'm expecting, and two, I have a massive shoulder injury that prevents me from being able to hold my surgical tool.
Oh, wow.
See, man, that sucks when you get morphine and you actually need it. Mm-hmm. That's always my argument with stuff like that. Like, I want morphine when I don't need morphine.
Well, congratulations on making the sexy time. Was it a fun night? Do you remember any of it? I mean, was it good? Was it bad? Was it just run-of-the-mill morning sex?
It was before my husband got deployed to Afghanistan back in June, and like a month later we found out. Actually, our dog realized I was, and then I went to the doctor and I'm like, yeah, you're at the wrong doctor.
Wait, hold on.
What?
Was he eating your panties or was he sniffing your butt all the time?
Max was just, the dog was just like constantly nuzzling at my belly, and I'm like, will you get away from me?
So your dog tipped you off that you might be pregnant. Like, did you get suspicious that you might be pregnant when the dog kept nudging your belly?
No, because I was told 13 years ago that I couldn't have children.
All right, well, let's go with this question because you can answer it. What would you say is the most distracting thing that you've experienced during sex? Apparently, since you have it.
You know, like your dog staring at you, the cat nipping at your butt cheeks.
Honestly, I think it would be the time that my ex-husband and we had an allergic reaction to a condom.
Ooh. Oh. Who had the reaction? You or your husband?
We both did. I was in between birth control pills to an IUD, and we used a condom, and then come to find out we're both allergic to latex.
Damn.
Yeah, so, what, not to get too graphic, but how long did it take you to figure out that something was wrong, and what were the indications that something had gone wrong? Like, did he get hives on his penis?
Like, I started having, like, immense pain and burning, and I was like, what is going on? And he's kind of feeling the same way, and then like the next day it was like completely, I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, this could not be normal. And so we both went to the doctor and they're like, oh yeah, it's an allergic reaction. We're like, what? How is that a thing?
You know what? I've heard of it before, but it was just one of the two parties.
Wait, yeah, I've heard of it. It's just I did not know that. How long was the cooter burning?
About 4 days.
God, jeez, no.
God, man.
Same with your husband? Were you both in pain for about the same amount of time?
Yeah. It turns out I'm allergic to latex as well as him, and neither one of us really knew that. Well, I think he may have known, but I didn't know. That was the first time I've ever had a reaction.
I can promise you that if he knew, he would not. Look, you can be allergic to a lot of things and roll the dice, but if it makes your penis unhappy, it's not something you voluntarily do.
Right. And it turns out, since obviously you both are allergic to each other.
Yeah, don't even get me started.
And then see what happened? Yeah, exactly. You stopped using the condom, and now you're pregnant. That's just how it works.
No, this is with my new husband. No.
Okay. The new husband. All right.
The updated model.
Yeah.
The new and improved.
That's right. Better than the last time. Reason we asked, what's the most distracting thing you've experienced during sex? Maybe you've seen her movies. Shailene Woodley. Have you guys seen her before? She gets naked every once in a while.
I know her because Van Rogers.
I had to Google her today, and I'm still not sure that I recognize her.
Yeah, she is the new girlfriend of Aaron Rodgers, I guess.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah. Well, she says, quote, I've never felt uncomfortable doing intimate scenes because I'm very vocal. I sit down, talk with the director, the other actor. We always have conversations of how are you planning on shooting it? Is the nudity actually necessary?
Is she talking to the director or the co-star?
Probably just the director in this case. He's like, yes, we need the nudity. We know exactly what the boundaries are, and I've never been in a situation where those have not been honored. She actually doesn't like sex scenes where she doesn't take everything off. Quote, oftentimes in movies you see two people having sex and the woman has a bra on. In real life, I don't think I've ever did that. Sex with a bra, or very, very rarely.
Yeah, because we want to see your boobs, too. We want the whole thing, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? If I'm there, like, come on, let's do this right.
I don't know. It doesn't find it sexy. Leave it on.
You know what? I'm not going to object.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see your boobs, but if you insist on wearing a bra,
We got one more question because this one's for Mike.
All right.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Hola. Matt, welcome to the program. Random question. Okay. Holidays are here. What would you say is your favorite, Matt, hot, right out of the oven cookie?
You son of a bitch. Well, aside from the euphemism that you guys are all laughing about, just chocolate chip, dude.
Chocolate chip.
Homemade chocolate chip.
Oh, man. How often do you have homemade, out of the oven chocolate chip cookies, Matt?
I don't know. Like, not often at all. Like, I once a year.
Okay.
That sounds about right. That was probably about my speed, but that's one of the beauty. Look, if there's no other reason to have a child, it's not to take care of someone. It's not for the future of humanity. It is that when you have kids, things like fresh-baked cookies happen a lot more often in your life. And that is a true bet. So probably like 8 or 9 times a year now, man. Like there's cookies.
Same with popcorn.
Oh, God.
Your kids leave the house. Mine grew up and moved away. And that was what I figured I was missing in my life.
Popcorn.
Popcorn. Really is.
Yeah.
Not kidding you. Well, the reason we asked, what is your favorite hot, right out of the oven cookie?
Oh, yeah.
Seems like it'd be pretty expensive to make a batch of cookies, at least compared to the prices that they charge at some upscale bakeries. But with the unpredictable prices of some kitchen staples, it might not be as cheap right now as you think. According to a new study, baking a batch of Christmas cookies in the U.S. costs roughly $6.10. They don't specify how many cookies, but in most recipes, a batch is 2 to 3 dozen, right?
All right.
The most expensive place to bake a cookie is San Diego, California. A batch will set you back $12.40.
Damn!
Burlington, Vermont is $12. Los Angeles, $11.41. The cheapest places for a cheap holiday cookie: Charleston, West Virginia, $2.90.
There you go.
Des Moines, Iowa, $4.30. That's probably why I had so many delicious hot, out of the oven baked cookies.
It was just affordable to feed you guys cookies.
Oh my goodness, trays of multiple different kinds. More of the random question coming up. 206-421-ROCK.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
This Father's Day, refresh Dad's tool collection with the sweetest brands like Cobalt at Lowe's. Right now, you can buy one select Cobalt 24-volt Max kit and get one select Cobalt Bear tool free, up to a $139 value. The gift of powering Dad's summer projects is priceless. Shop Lowe's in-store or online today to make it happen. While supplies last, valid 5/2 through 7/31.
99.9 KISW. The men's room is in progress.
Random question, 206-421-ROCK.
Random.
Hello, Danny. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how's it going?
Hola. Danny, welcome to the program. Random question. Okay, let's go. Maybe this one will be a good one. Danny, what would you say? And I'm sure there's maybe a handful of these in your lifetime. But what was one of the nicest dinners that you've ever been to or been a part of? And what was the reason for the celebration?
Let's see. That's probably last year. Last year, me and my sister and a friend went to Daniel's Broiler for my birthday.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think the total bill was like $700 between the three of us or something.
What did you end up getting?
I got the I got filet mignon, and we got like tuna, these little tuna like steak hors d'oeuvres, and
yeah. Hey man, there's nothing wrong with Daniel's Broiler. That was a good spot. You could save a little bit of money there if you go to the bar and go to happy hour. You know what I mean? But for the most part,
you're still spending.
You know what you're getting into.
I like McCoy's Firehouse down in Pioneer Square. Like, it's a lot cheaper, and it's good stuff. They butcher their meat in the basement and stuff, but it just wasn't open during the pandemic. And my birthday was on Friday. You guys did a shout out to, like, in December last year. That was my only choice of Daniel. So
okay, well, hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
If that's your only choice, things are okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Right, it's a little pricey, but it's going to be a great meal.
But that's why you're there for your birthday. Yeah. I don't know how many times I've been there for anything that's not celebratory as far as sitting down. I've been there, like you said, I'll sit at the bar, get a couple drinks, get a burger, whatever. But, like, if I'm sitting down at the table at Daniel's.
We might have a line on a guy that can hook us up.
We do. Mm-hmm. It's not public knowledge yet, unless you listen to the happy hour.
No, someone who might be able to give us a bit of a deal.
Yeah. Well, I got some from here from work, some gift cards a couple of years ago. And me and Joe went over there, and, like, we had a hell of a, like, we just got appetizers and had drinks, and I was like, this is great.
That's all you need.
I got that same gift card. We rolled right over there, and at that time, the pandemic was in full swing, so we got it to go home. It was fine. It was like the nicest take-home meal I've ever had.
Yeah, and this was the one, they had opened one down here, and they had a piano player.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right? And you could take donations, and he'd play a song, and then, man, I forget what I requested, but he's like, oh, come on, man. Just like, I have to play that song all the time. I was like, all right, sorry.
You know the best
he wouldn't even take your money. Like, no.
He ended up playing it. He just seemed legit annoyed. You know what? It was probably like yesterday or something. Just like a simple, like he's like
if you play piano, it's a song that you've been playing forever.
Yes.
Have you ever been to Aqua down on the water?
Oh yeah.
The piano player in there is the best in town. I mean, that guy.
What makes him so good?
Okay, you're sitting there and you're like, "What is this?" And you realize he's playing "Raining Blood" from Slayer. You know
nice.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
I went there. Right. I went there years ago by mistake because I was at the wrong bar.
Right.
But it was a Friday night, so I was like, "F it." It's just me. I never do this. Like I started messing with the bartender. I got oysters, having bourbon. I'm eating good fish, and then finally I'm like, is this Welcome to the Jungle?
Yes.
And my buddy Nolan used to be a bartender there. He's like, yeah, man. So I started talking to him. Great dude.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the musical selection from this guy, but he does it in a way where no other guest would know what he's doing.
Sure.
You know, he could do Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath and make it sound like a Christmas song. You know what I'm saying? He's not singing. He's just playing.
Right, because he plays it slower and he's still singing like a crooner. But like after a while, like if you're, well, you're like us. If you sit there and have a couple of drinks, you're like, what the heck?
At some point, you realize you know the song, right?
Yeah, it was like Foo Fighters or something. It was like Everlong. And I'm like, wait a minute. How do I know the lyrics to this piano song?
It makes the difference, man. The mistress of booze that works here, she turned me on to when my kids were babies. What is it? Baby Rock?
It's Baby Metal? No, Baby Rock.
Whatever it is, right? Because
Baby Metal's the band.
You play all this crap for your kids, right? And she's like, look, man, just to save your own life, and I can't remember what it's called now, but it's Metallica, it's Tool, it's all this stuff, but it's played on like the little kid's xylophone and all that. But I realized, like, I'm bobbing my head up and down, like, I'm listening to Sober with my kid. Kid doesn't know.
Yeah. Reese asked, what was the nicest dinner that you ever been to? You may have read a review or two by a food critic panning a restaurant. Safe bet that you've never read a review quite as scathing or memorable as this one. From Geraldine de Ruyter. She writes on her blog, The Everworst. Headline proves the sense of the review. We just ate at the worst Michelin-starred restaurant ever. Distinction goes to a restaurant in Italy, which does have, indeed, a coveted Michelin star. For the record, the chef is defending the experience as something akin to abstract art instead of dinner.
All right. Those are the pictures I was showing you last week, Thurl.
It's that place.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever eaten at a Michelin star restaurant? I don't believe I have.
I don't know it. But I can't imagine I'd walk into a Michelin star restaurant without them saying.
What about the place Commander's Palace he used to work at in New Orleans? Was that one of those restaurants that might have had a star?
You know what, man?
Back in the day.
I never ate there, but I worked there. It might be, or may have been, at least at the time, because that was like the joint you had to go to if you went to New Orleans.
I'm not sure I have.
And her friends.
Really good restaurant.
Yeah. They went to the restaurant for dinner. They were served 27 courses.
Jeez.
Over more than 4 hours. She sets the parameter early. I'm not talking about a meal that's poorly cooked or a server who might be planning your murder. That sort of thing happens in the fat lump of the bell curve of bad, she writes. Instead, I'm talking about the long tail stuff. The sort of meals that make you feel as though the fabric of reality is unraveling. The courses, they included edible paper slivers.
Come on.
Again, edible paper slivers. Dollops of meat molecules served via eyedroppers.
What? Come on. Get over yourself.
Frozen air, which melted and then eaten. Frozen air. A drop of frozen air.
I'm not understanding this.
Shots of vinegar, a tablespoon of crab, and fried cheese balls, with what the servers emphasized was rancid ricotta cheese. At one point, they were served reconstituted orange slices alongside actual orange slices, but the latter were only for decoration and not to be eaten. She writes that she felt like she was a character in a Dickens novel, because I cannot impart this enough, there was nothing even close to an actual meal being served. The weirdest part? That would be the chef's kiss, meaning citrus foam was served in a plaster cast of the chef's mouth. You ate it without utensils. The later detail is crucial because it meant that patrons had to slurp the foam out of the fake mouth with their own mouths of the chef. This is a dinner.
That was the picture I showed Thurl. I was like, this is insane.
Yeah, it looks disgusting.
Check for the party of 8 was more than $1,500.
Jesus Christ.
That does not include the tip.
To
but
eat
I don't know.
Meat molecules in frozen air.
Frozen air. Yeah.
I think I've eaten at like Thomas Keller's a famous chef, right? Mm-hmm. And he has a restaurant called Bouchon. So I think he got a star for the original one in Cali, but I've eaten at the one in Vegas.
Okay, I'm not a big fan of the coursed meal. Because one, it means you're obligated to be there forever. It's like watching a 4-hour movie at the theater, right? Like, you're just in it. However, I will say, when we went with Hair Club to New Orleans, it was years ago, it was a 8 or 10 course meal. What the hell was it? I don't remember, but I did not think I would like it. It was one of the best meals I've ever eaten.
Nice. Oh, it's fantastic.
I can't even explain what this guy did, but I mean, every single thing he brought out was really, really good. And to be honest with you, it did not take as long as I thought it would. And then we said, thank you to the chef after we had a meal, and he was closing up for the night, so he's leaving. So he walks over, he talks to us for a minute, and then he gets on a Segway.
He zooms away.
That is lit up with Christmas
in an
lights.
alley. Yeah.
And takes off in an alley. Like, what?
Thanks for coming in for the meal, guys. Gotta see you later.
Goodbye.
That's exactly. That's like where
Random.
Hello, Jerry. Welcome to the men's room.
Random.
Whoa, boo, bitches.
Boo.
Jerry, welcome to the program. Random question. All right, let's go with this one. Not that you could, but you kind of can. As far as having sex, who would you like to have virtual sex with? Now, we all know that you can't have sex with a A-list celebrity or somebody like that. I mean, trust me. If I could have sex with Rihanna, I would. Rihanna?
What exactly is virtual sex?
Well,
they have an avatar or something, and then my avatar.
I think your Oculus could probably be able to pull that off.
That'd be something to try out.
So, who would you like to have virtual sex with if you could?
Well, this answer is going to age me a bit. But I think if I had to, if I got to, I'd pick Sean Connery.
Sean Connery?
Sean Connery?
Sean Connery.
Now, what particular age
Back
is
in
Sean
the day.
Connery? So,
Okay.
like James
Back in the
Bond?
day.
James Bond, Sean Connery?
Yes. Yeah, James Bond Connery.
Okay. Well, look, it's not okay. I'm sure Ted, your mom would probably pick Tom Selleck still, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to think who my mom would pick. I'm just trying to think.
All right. My mom would pick the Geico Gecko.
I think my mom, she would have picked Burt Reynolds back in the day.
Sure.
She loved Burt Reynolds. Who else did she like?
You know, my mom
she did like
loves
Tom Selleck too. The Geico Gecko. We know that.
No, not just guy. She also likes humans, and one of them, and I cannot explain it. What's it?
Good for your dad.
I know that works in his favor. Gee, I can't think of his name now. Christopher Walken.
Okay.
Yeah, he's strange.
Right now, though,
she thinks that he is just.
I gotta say, between the Gecko and Christopher Walken, I really see how your dad fit in.
I'm sure my dad's like, I don't understand why I'm here.
My dad would take like Raquel Welch, somebody like that. That would be up his alley.
I know exactly the image that he would have in mind. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's a tough question, though.
Well, if you could go back in time, like if I could go back in time, honestly, I would go back to the 70s. My Farrah Fawcett poster. Sure. With the eraser nipples and like, okay, we're having virtual sex, Farrah.
If I could go back in time, I'd go back one day and pick the new Miss Universe.
Oh, man,
Whoa,
man.
Did you see her?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I'd take a younger Dolly.
Wow.
Dolly Parton? Younger Dolly Parton?
Yeah. I've been looking at this meme for 3 days about her. It is amazing how hot she is.
I mean, there's a few if you could go back in the day, like Heather Locklear before we knew she was insane.
Yeah?
Right? I mean, she was smoke show.
Yeah, maybe Suzanne Summers.
You would do her now.
Yeah, of course.
I know. I know you would, man.
Britney Spears.
Oh, yeah. I know, with that dark eyeshadow and stuff.
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera now.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I got a few on here, Miles.
I know we can just run down the list, dude. I mean, like
well, if you had a video game where you could pull them up, and they would be there. You know what I mean?
But I feel like it'd be more frustrating. Like, I want to have sex with, like, at least with porn, I'm not pretending I'm having sex, I'm masturbating.
Sure.
Right? But, like, virtual sex, like, no. I want to have sex with you, not virtual sex with you.
Well, the thing...
that would just be frustrating.
Okay, look. All right. As you were telling me, and not that this is... But your son plays Madden, right?
Yeah.
And the EA version of Madden, all the players are ranked as far as what their abilities are, what they're able to do, and everything else. Some quarterbacks have better arms. Some can run better, like Russell or Lamar. Some, you know what I mean? Some can get out of the pocket. Some have to stay in the pocket. Roethlisberger doesn't move very well in the game because he doesn't move very well in the game. So if you did that, though, you know, you could specify based on... So in other words, if you want to have sex with Tom Jones, you know that you're going to have sex with a man with a 10-inch penis.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But like Madden, you still have to qualify some things. Like, okay, he has... All right, so you bring up Ben Roethlisberger, right? As far as his EA rating goes, the guy has a great arm, has great accuracy and all that, but like I said, no mobility. So you pull up Tom Jones, okay, he has a huge D.
And he can move those hips.
But then when you check with oral abilities, if it's on a 1 to 10 scale, say he only ranks like a 5.
Right, but
then if you're a chick, you're like, well, I want a guy. But then maybe you get someone like Steve Buscemi.
Depends on what you want.
Steve Buscemi or Clint Howard, right? These ugly dudes, but it's like their oral skills are 10s. Well, right? You find out that these guys, they just crush it.
You could pick Nancy Reagan.
From what we heard.
Oh.
Apparently, this is what we heard today. And what do they say, I guess, back in the day?
That was her calling card.
That was a calling card back in, what, in the Hollywood days?
Yeah.
That she had a mean mouth.
She was the best.
Yeah. Like the best.
Is this before or after Ronald?
Before.
Why do you think Ronald was with her?
All right.
I'm divorcing my wife. This is insane. All the time.
Trickle down coitus.
Reason I asked who would you like to have virtual sex with? Earlier this year, there was some controversy over a video game called Cyberpunk 2077. You ever heard of this, Mike? Cyberpunk?
I've heard of it. I know nothing about
it. It seems someone modded the game so the players could have sex with Johnny Silverhand, a character who was basically patterned after and looks exactly like Keanu Reeves. Well, Keanu and Carrie Ann Moss, they sat down recently for an interview to hype the new Matrix movie, and the reporter happened to bring it up. And Keanu's not a gamer, so he didn't really know anything about it. But he took it as a compliment. He said, quote, "It's always nice when it's nice." Then he started going off a little bit. Think how much money is important, right? So you could not even have to be there, and people could have digital sex with your digital avatar. Then he started going into getting into the VR suits, arousal metrics, and members only, which he apparently mistook for OnlyFans.
Members only.
But either way, you can have sex, I guess, with someone who looks exactly like Keanu Reeves. It's part of
if that's what you want to do. Look, I'd be happy.
Why not? Whatever.
People are checking in. One guy says, basically, threesome with Shakira and Salma Hayek. Right? Being in that virtual sex.
A good call.
Let's see. Someone agrees with you. Miles says, oh, hot damn. Miss Universe is a smoke show. Someone else, Reba McEntire. She's a single mom who works 2 jobs, loves her kids, never stops. With gentle hands and the heart of a fighter, she's a survivor.
She's attractive.
Someone else, Brooke Shields, during the filming of Blue Lagoon. Dude, I'd have sex with Brooke Shields.
She was also 13.
Was she that young with Blue
Lagoon? She was.
Oh, God. Yeah, so maybe not that.
You want me to update that a little bit there, fella?
Someone else says, hands down, Yasmin Bleeth before she got fugly. I don't know what happened to Yasmin Bleeth. Right?
That's a good call, because, I used to have her on my wall.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time you're like, man. Raquel Welch and Farrah Fawcett. Oh, apparently they did a lesbian scene together. Huh. You need to tell me the movie, because I would like to see that.
What about Pam Anderson?
Just got that call, actually.
What's that?
I actually just got a call from somebody who's like, how is Pamela Anderson from Baywatch not in on this conversation?
Yeah, for real.
Like I said, there's not a lot of celebrities that you can bring up that you don't want to have sex with, because most of them are there because they're hot. And there's exceptions. Like, Roseanne Barr's not going to make the list. I get that. But overwhelmingly, like, if you're in Hollywood, you're probably pretty good looking.
Well, the reason with Pamela Anderson is if it's really back to the EA Sports thing, right? Mm-hmm. If it's really back to...
With the rankings?
Who this person is and what they've been through. Now, she was married to Tommy Lee. And she had sex with Tommy Lee, right?
Sure.
Okay. That'd be the equivalent of you being naked, open up a closet door, and just start thrusting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just... I mean, if it's like the... You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get anything out of it.
Look, I don't care.
I'm still going to try.
It's fine.
I'll put it in sideways. Look, I want to sleep with, Carmen Electra. But Dennis Rodman. I'm sure.
You have a chance, because you got that Dennis Rodman thing happening.
That's right. No. Because the one time I met her, she made it clear that I did not have a chance. See, that's the thing. The sushi chef thought that I actually was Dennis Rodman. When I actually met Carmen Electra, not realizing that it was Carmen Electra, my response to her was, I didn't want to see whatever the hell the name of her band was, because it's not like I'm going to F Carmen Electra. And then she lifted her sunglasses, and I said, am I right? She goes, yeah. It was kind of an awkward exchange, but,
Told you.
Just in case she said, no, you're wrong. It'd have been a great day.
Right. Let's go hit the bathroom real quick. We're getting on this plane.
Random.
Hello, Justin. Welcome to the men's room.
Booze and bitches.
Boo. Ooh, Alyssa Milano. I'm in. Sorry. The names just come pouring in.
Okay, why did you leave?
Can I weigh in on this one?
Sure, man.
Oh, here we go.
Carl's Jr. Kate Upton, come on.
Oh, that is a good call.
With a hamburger?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's go with this random question for you.
Hold on, Ted, you'll like this one. Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Great call.
Yep.
I had a crush on her.
No one has had a bad one yet. Stacy Keebler, Alyssa Milano, Adriana
Jennifer
Lima.
Love Hewitt back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how about this random question? Why did you leave or quit the job? Why did you leave or quit your job?
I quit. I used to work at this little burger joint in Buckley called Wally's.
Yep.
And worked there for about a year and a half or 2 years during high school. And I think I was just graduating. I was trying to make a bunch of tips, so I just was pulling griddles back and scraping the back of them, mopping, cleaning everything in the office, waiting to get a tip from my boss. And a kid made a joke at the end of the shift, and she gave him a $20 tip, and I got nothing, so I walked out.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Because he cracked a good joke. Damn.
Reason we asked, why did you leave or quit the job? He was once apparently the youngest bishop in all of Spain. But Xavier Goma has given it all up in order to marry a woman. You see, back in September, the BBC reported that Novell had resigned from the Roman Catholic Church for personal reasons that the Spanish media reported revolved around a writer of sometimes satanic-themed erotica. He married 38-year-old Silvia Cabolo. Marriage reportedly took place last month. Now the church has officially stripped Novell of his powers. In a statement translated by The Guardian, church officials acknowledged the marriage and said that Novell is now forbidden from exercising any of the rights and duties inherent to the episcopal office, though he may retain his title of bishop. You see, Novell's departure from the church punctuates a string of controversies that reportedly include his support of gay conversion therapy, participation in exorcisms, and support of Catalan independence. Now, Novell, who has a background in agriculture, is now working at a company that specializes in preparing pig semen for artificial insemination. So he left his job as far as being the youngest bishop.
Right.
To marry a woman who writes satanic-themed erotica. And now he works preparing pig semen for artificial insemination.
That's the natural progression of jobs, I believe.
More of the random question coming up. 206-421-ROCK.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.